Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Joining us right now is one of the funny men, got his start on social media, and here he is blown up, Tony Baker, great comedian, voiceover.
Tony, what's
going on, bro?
What's up, y'all? Can y'all hear me and see me?
I can see you.
We hear you.
I can see you.
Oh, bet that. Thanks for having me.
You got the light
like
in
you
there
got a
bright.
flip phone, but it's okay.
The light too bright. I got the space shuttle. I got to beam me up, the alien joints.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I can dim it if you need.
You good, boss. How's everything? Everything good though?
Man, I ain't got no complaints, man. I'm golden. I'm back on tour, so you know, getting my pockets replenished. Just bought a house. So.
Hey, listen. Every morning, ask the man upstairs, man, to make sure that cup continue to runneth over. You're gonna be all right.
Come on, man. I bought my first house, so I need every dollar.
Oh, did you?
It.
Yeah, man. I just bought my first house, Southern California. So you know they're gonna charge you $8 million for 1.5 bedrooms, 0 bath.
Congratulations.
Tony, did you always want to be a comedian? Were you a class clown? Were you funny always? When did you decide to say, you know what, I'm gonna be a stand-up?
You know what, man? I was always funny and didn't realize it because I'm the youngest of 3 boys.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to crack jokes at the house, but my brothers would never laugh. They gave me nothing, man. So I would go to school. Thinking I wasn't funny. So I'm making the kids laugh, but it didn't even register because I was like, man, I ain't funny at home though. And then when we young and we teens and we into girls, you don't want to be funny. You trying to be all smooth and knocked out. You know what I'm saying? You got your Jodeci boots on. You just like, yeah, girl. And they be like, you funny. I'll be like, nah, I ain't trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying? And so I never really paid attention to my funny until I got to college. And then that's when it clicked.
But women like guys that are, but Tony, women like guys that are funny. One of the things that they say, a sense of humor. Laughing right about the draw.
I found that out later. I found it out later.
But let me ask you this. When did you get into the voiceover? Because that's kind of how I stumbled upon you. You was doing voiceover, Cats, Dogs, I forget, what's the, Scotty. And
Curtis and Scotty.
Yeah, Curtis
man.
and Scotty. How did you get into the voiceovers?
You know what it was? We always had pets growing up. So, I never lived without an animal in the house somewhere until I went to college. And so I was always wondering what they was thinking about, just looking at cats and dogs and like, what y'all thinking about? And so I did this, I did 2 videos. It was one of this goat in Brazil, just harassing the hell out of everybody, man. Just cramming people on the motorcycle. Cramilton, man. He knocked this lady over. She had grocery bags and this dude tried to save her. So that was the very first one I did. And then I did the second one. This raccoon was eating out of a cat food dish. And the cats were surrounding him, looking at him like he crazy. Like, yo, man, who's your man right here? And he looking at them. And then he dip off and then come back for one last scoop. And then he run off. And so that's the one that went viral. And so I was like, let me just do these for real. And I just kept doing them ever since.
Live. Hey, you had a comedy special, Scaredy Cat. Can you walk us through the creative process and the prep you had behind the special and how everything came about?
Okay, so I started doing stand-up in 2008. So really my voiceovers are just a vehicle to get you to come see me live. So I've been doing stand-up since then. So, I'm just doing, when I started doing stand-up, I'm doing everything I can get my hands on, man. Every show, every competition, every bringer show, I'm just doing whatever. And so I'm just accumulating all this material. I'm getting up every night, dog. I'm like doing multiple stages a night. And so by the time I shot Scaredy Cat, and I met these cats that I still work with, Brennan and Tony at Transit Pictures. And they was like, yo, let us shoot your special. And I was like, all right, and so they put it together because they do dynamite work. And so we went to New Mexico State. That's where I went to college. And we shot the special there. Low budget, guerrilla style, independent. Just shot that mug. And then so that's like years worth of material that we just culminated right there.
Tony, who is your inspiration? When you grow up, you're like, okay, take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that. Who are some of your inspirations in the comedic space?
Well, when I was growing up, I'm 47, so Delirious was the first comedy special that just blew my head.
What you know about that?
Man, come on, Delirious. Man. Anybody that knows that was around at that time, that special just blew everybody's head off. And so that's when I first took in a comedy special for real. And then as time went on, I saw Raw, but then I started watching like comedy, and I was like, Damon Wayans, Sinbad, and Jerry Seinfeld are my three influences with a sprinkle of Bernie Mac. So those are my influences right there. And so I feel like I'm a combination of those three that I mentioned. And because my mom don't like a lot of cussing, so we could watch Sinbad together.
Right. That's what I was about to ask you, because I don't hear a lot of cursing in your comedy.
Yeah, I try to keep it PG-13 for the most part. Like I don't want to get too clean because I don't want to get stuck in that box. But so I try to keep it PG-13 so my mom won't cringe up. So, but yeah, Sinbad, Damon Wayans, the way he would just like storytell and do the character act out.
Yes.
And then the way Seinfeld just details every like little basic human experience that we have, talking about socks for like 15 minutes, talking about toothpaste, talking about cereal. I can do that type of stuff too. So those are my three influences right there.
Dope. I don't think people understand how difficult stand-up comedy is. I think they think people are funny. You just stand on stage in front of a crowd and it just works. Not understanding that the material has to hit, you have to engage with the crowd, you have to have stage presence. There's so many factors and variables that go in for a comedian to be able to stand up in front of people, have said material, remember said material, and the delivery to be on point.
Yes.
So my question is, how different is your approach when it comes to doing stand-up versus the content you put on social media? Or do you just approach both the same way?
Well, the way I write is like, I think of a premise, like I'll be at the grocery store tonight.
Right.
I'll be like, man, look at this lady right here. And then next time I get on stage, I'll be like, man, I was in Whole Foods, I seen this lady right here. And so I write it in real time like that. I keep the premise in mind. All right, I'm going to say this. And then I keep doing it the more I go up, and then I edit, add in stuff, and do it like that. And so, because like the way my mind works, I'll forget it if I don't like write it down or do it right away. Yep. And so that's my approach to like stand-up. My voiceovers and like the content, it be in the moment, man. Like when people used to send me, before I kind of stopped doing voiceovers because Instagram keep pulling them off my page and I want to get my page deleted. But people would send me videos all day long. They still do. And so they'd be like, hey, man, hey, Tone, man, this. And so I'll look at the video maybe once, twice. And then I'll just think of the whole scenario. I got a voiceover where it's these two cats. There's one outside the window and one inside.
Yeah, hey, Curtis. Let me holler at you right quick.
Yeah. Because the one outside looked like he'd been about that life.
Yeah.
He want Curtis to come outside so he can give him these skibbity packs for real. And so when I'm looking at that, I'm like, oh, I got the conversation right here. So he's like, hey, Curtis, man, why don't you step outside? Let me holler at you real quick. And then he disappeared for a little bit.
He fell. Oh, I'm hurt. Oh.
Yeah. Help me, man. I fell. Then you come back. Why you ain't help me, Curtis?
You told Scotty, you freaking me out. You figure me out, Scotty. You freaking me out.
Yeah, man. And I like production value too. So like if I do a voiceover of a giraffe running from a lion, I'll be outside running when I record it.
So you get the effect, like it's really like that's what's really happening.
Yep, like you can hear me running outside and be like, "Oh man, that sounds like he really running." So some people appreciate those little nuances.
Yeah, right. That's dope. That's dope.
Tony, give me your Mount Rushmore comedians.
Okay, I'm gonna give you
top 4.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 of the ones I just named. I'm gonna give you Sinbad.
Okay,
and this is my personal one. I can give you a comedy Mount Rushmore, or I can give you my personal.
Hey, I want yours. Who are your Mount Rushmore comedians? Tony Baker's Mount Rushmore.
So, got you. Damon Wayans. I feel like his HBO specials are underrated. We know Damon is a legend.
Yeah.
But I feel like his comedy specials don't get talked about enough, man. It's crazy. So I'm gonna give you Damon Wayans. I'm gonna give you Sinbad as well. I feel like Sinbad don't get talked about enough to be that funny and that clean and that consistent is crazy. And his crowd work is bananas.
Yep.
So I got them 2 on there. I'm gonna give you dang, man. Because I want to throw Eddie on there, but he only got 2 specials. But they was monumental, though.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Murphy. Okay.
He only got 2 of those. So I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna slide him off.
Okay.
I'm gonna put him on the legendary Mount Rushmore, but since he only got 2, I'm gonna slide him off. And then I want to put George Carlin on there because
I love Carlin.
That's my boy.
George Carlin, man. I could listen to him all day, and the way he breaks stuff down is just.
Hey, I have all his specials. All of them.
That dude was crazy, man.
There are very few comedians that you go and see where you have to think. Mm-hmm. He makes you think. He forces you to think.
Yep. And then not only thinking, you're going to walk away having learned some stuff.
Yes, he's very socially conscious.
Very.
Yes.
He's very socially conscious. He's going to talk about things in real life that you're dealing with, and you think like, damn, he put that in perspective. You know who I think one of the greatest storytellers, especially of this generation? Chappelle.
Who that?
Chappelle.
Hey. Oh yeah, for sure.
Man, that joker. And he can take the way he can diffuse our audience and talk about things that you shouldn't be talking about. And before you know it, his SNL, when he did SNL a couple of years ago, Bake, it might have been the greatest monologue in Saturday Night Live history. Ocho, if you haven't seen it, go back and look at his monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's dope about Chappelle? The way his comedy transformed. If you go back and look in the Killing Them Softly or his early specials, it was more rapid fire, it was more jokes, but then he developed into like this monumental storyteller where you just like listening, you just like, man, this dude breaking it all the way down to where the jokes sneak up on you. It's like I don't know if success made him more comfortable in his approach to where he could just be like, y'all gonna rock with me anyway, so let me just sit down and
take my time.
Cigarette. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But his transition is just crazy. Patrice O'Neal is another dude that I feel like
classic.
If he didn't pass away, oh man, no telling where he would have went.
What about Pryor? What do you think about Pryor?
You know what I feel about Pryor? I would put him on the Mount Rushmore of the best comedians to ever exist, because when you look at Def Comedy Jam, it was 27-35 Richard Pryors on that thing. Like, he birthed so many comedians that if you were young and didn't catch Richard Pryor in his prime, you would go back and look at a Richard Pryor special and be like, yo, this reminds me of like Def Jam. That's because they were born from him.
Yep.
So it's like, you know, his style of comedy is just essential to the whole game because it changed everything. So I would put him right on the Mount Rushmore of, you know, the best comedians to ever do it. I think he's the most important comedian that ever exists.
But you see a lot of these stand-up, and he was probably one of the first that did stand-up and transition to movies.
Yeah.
And then you got, you know, a Gene Wilder, and you got Murphy, and you got Kevin Hart. You got a lot of these Chris Rock. You get a lot of these guys that started off as stand-up, and it seemed like is that a natural transition to go from stand-up to go into the big screen?
I feel like a lot of times, because what happened was with Richard and Eddie, you had that blueprint of like, all right, I'm gonna do stand up, and then I'm gonna do movies like Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Eddie Murphy, because that's what happened to me. Like I always wanted to act, and so I was like, yo, let me try stand up as a way to get exposure. But then what happened to me was I fell in love with stand up as soon as I did it. So now when I get an acting role, I'll be like, cool, but I don't be like excited like developing like a dope set.
Okay.
Because, when you act, so much other stuff is out of your control. But with stand-up, I control everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if I'm in a movie, I'm at the mercy of the casting director.
Right.
Then once I get past that, I got to work with the director, the writers, the producers. They might edit my scene out. So you never know. And then, but for stand-up, I'm in more control of everything.
Right.
Like, it's me. So, but as far as the transitions go, that was the move. It was like, it turned into the move where it was just like, all right, man, this stand-up comedian is so popular and so large. Let's throw him in a movie or two, man, because he's funny and he might stand out. And then the next thing you know, you just got this wave of cats that like started on stage, and then we gonna get them in movies and stuff like that. Now, mind you, everything ain't gonna click.
Right.
Like when they do get movies, they be tanking, and you only get a few tanks.
Right.
Before they be like, all right, man, look out.
But if you look at Bernie Mac is the only guy that you watch his mannerisms in the movie. That's just his mannerisms on stage.
Yeah.
The way he did Blue. Don't make me raise up. It's gonna be trouble. You know what I'm saying? If you watch him in House Party, you watch him in Friday. His mannerisms on the screen is his mannerisms on stage. He's one of the few guys that when you watch him, you like he doing stand up and he acting.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. He was able to do that transition on his terms. Like, we had already seen him. If you was in the know, you already seen him in like House Party and like these movies before the Real Comedians.
Yeah.
Then by the time Real Comedians came out and a lot of people saw him doing stand-up for the first time, they just like, oh my God, that's when he got his TV show and he got like higher profile gigs like Ocean's 11 and stuff like that. And so it was like, because every time he was in something before, he was still in scenes all the time.
Yes.
Everything he was in, he was still in the show every time.
Ooh, I knew you. I knew you. They used to call you Jawbone.
They used to call you Jawbone.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
He and Ronaldo Ray.
House Party 3, man. I'm telling you, every time he showed up, for him to be able to stand out in life, that movie had a dope ensemble.
Jangle-Lang.
Jangle-Lang. You know what I'm saying?
But if you and you go back and look at Harlem Nights, when they had the smorgasbord.
Oh yeah.
You had the OGs, you had Red Fox, you had Richard you had
Pryor,
Eddie, you had Ronaldo Ray. I mean, you had them all in
everybody.
I don't know. And the same thing is Life. I don't know if we'll ever see another cast like what we had in Life.
Not like that.
Man,
hey, you know what? When you talk about cast, right, and movies that are classics based on the people that were casted, Life or Harlem Night could be on. It don't matter where you watch it or where you catch it on TV. You're gonna stop and watch it. You're gonna stop and watch it. And there's one more movie.
Yes. You stop and watch it. Absolutely.
There's one more movie where it was casted perfectly. And they would never be able to replicate it. They tried, but it was nothing close to it. And that was Coming to America.
Coming to America. I knew you were going to say
Coming
that,
to America.
Coming to America is like one of the best comedies ever made.
Classic.
Top to bottom.
Right.
Top to bottom.
You can't replicate it. They tried. I'm not saying they failed, but it wasn't close.
They failed.
But when you look at Harlem Nights and you get Della Reese and you get that scene with Red Fox, and you get Pryor, and you get Murphy, and you get Arsenio, and you get that cast. I think what's the guy you said passed? Robin Harris. You get all of those guys. That's the man.
That's the cream of the crop, man.
I don't know if we'll ever get another. We'll never get. I hate to say never because never is always. Yeah. But I don't know if we're going to ever get a cast like that again, Tony, with a smorgasbord.
We could. Like, once we get once we get a Dave Chappelle together, a Kevin Hart together, like the Giants of now, if we can get them in the right project, that's the thing, though. Like, now we're oversaturated with movies and TV shows and stuff like that. Right. So it's harder for us to get that classic because we're so oversaturated. Right. When Harlem Nights came out, that was a movement, man. I remember I was in Chicago. It was Evergreen Plaza, opening weekend. That movie theater was packed. And when I'm talking about when them jokes was hidden, you couldn't even hear what they said after the jokes.
You had to go back and watch it because you missed the jokes because people were still laughing and they was going on. That's how it was with life. I ended up having to buy the DVD because I couldn't hear anything because everybody laughing in the theater. I'm like, well, damn. And when you go back and listen to it, you realize what you actually missed. And like Ocho said, there are some things like they're classics. Even Friday, when you go back and look at the cast that was in Friday, the OG Friday.
Yeah, for real. And it's hard making. I wish comedy sequels are the toughest sequels to make, man. Because like an action sequel, all you gotta do is ramp up the action and you good to go. But like with comedy sequels, they be trying to relive the magic and then they just be feeling forced now. Yeah. And so once I feel like you trying to make me laugh, I'll be losing the will to do it. I'll be like, nah, you kind of forced it.
And the funny thing about it, you can tell when they're trying to make you laugh, when someone is authentic and organically funny, they're not even trying. The funniest people are not even trying. It just there's a certain it factor that you're just born with. You can't teach it, you can't coach it, it just you got it or you don't.
But Bake,
because Friday felt organic.
But Bake, the problem is that when the first one does so well and it makes so much money, you got to bring it back just cause for no other reason. Yeah. You got to bring it back. When you see these, like, man, that's a good old movie. A movie did $500 million. A movie does $1 billion. You get a 2, a 3, and maybe a damn 4. It's like the Fast and the Furious. We done got 10. We up to 10 now.
Yeah, they in outer space.
They in outer space. Once Ludacris and Tyrese was sitting in the vehicle out of space, I was like, you know what? Y'all got it. Y'all got it, man. They sitting in the car. In outer space,
they racing space shuttles. So I mean, what we going with that?
Man,
let me ask you this.
And so, yes,
Mate, what's your favorite city to tour in? Where you like to go? Give me your top 5 cities that you like to go perform.
Top 5, man. I love the fact that you always do top 5 because I love doing top 5.
I know.
Anything you can ask me a top 5 anything, I'm gonna give it to you. So, this is in any order. This is out of order. So. I'm going off energy. New York. I'm gonna go with this. This is a ringer right here. I don't know how many comedians gonna say this, but Louisville, Kentucky.
Damn,
that's a good one.
Kentucky got fire energy.
Dude,
that's a good one.
Every time I go out there, I'm gonna throw in. I'm gonna give you who got that good energy. I really like performing in Chicago. I know I could be biased, but because I'm from there, but Chicago energy be fire. I'm gonna go with let's see, that's 3 right there. Let me throw that Baltimore in there.
Okay, man.
Baltimore, good. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
Baltimore, good ass time, dog. And then I'm a round it out with Philly is dope. I might round it out with DC, man.
DC got them heavyweights now. They got Quake. They got Chappelle. They got Wanda Sykes. Who else? Donnell Rollins.
Yep, Dominique. Yeah, DC got some fire comedians. Chico from DC, ain't he?
Chico Bean?
Yeah, I think
he
from DC too. Yeah, man. I rock with DC heavy, just as a city as a whole, but those shows be fun out there.
When you guys started, have you ever gotten booed?
I got booed one time. I was at a casino. This was a casino in Southern California. And it was a casino the Laugh Factory used to book, and Tiffany Haddish was the host. So we out there. I make the drive out there. Tiffany hosting, doing her thing. I get up there. I'm on stage for probably about 15 minutes, and one dude was like, "Boo!" I'm like, I was like, dog, man. Boo! So it was one boo. I didn't get the community boo, but it was one strong boo that he sat in. And so that's my only actual boo, though. But that's a boo, though.
Hey, Bake, how you get booed? Dude playing the slots and booing you from while playing the slots. Boo!
Boo, dog. It was a strong boo, too. I felt like he had his shirt off when he did it, man. I felt like his chest hairs was out. I was like, dang, man, you gonna boo me? And then he was like, boo. He doubled down.
I know you're a sports fan. Let me ask you this. Who you go? Basketball go? MJ, LeBron, Kobe? Where you want to go? Who you go?
You know, I'm from Chicago.
Ah,
so
man.
You already know where this is going. So
MJ.
I got to give it to MJ, man, because he just changed everything.
He did.
He changed the whole. He shifted the whole thing. So I'm gonna go with MJ.
Okay.
Not only for that, not only because he played for the Bulls, but the stuff they was doing was just monumental. And I feel like, the what if is like, what if he never went to play baseball? And you know what I'm saying? The what if on that. We could have got 7, maybe not 8, but we could have got 7 because them Houston Rockets was cold.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go MJ. I feel like LeBron is one of the best to ever do it. I don't like how people hate on him all the time. And I feel like LeBron is the best player with the cleanest image of all time. Because when you think about LeBron's image to be that great, it ain't been no scandals, man. He a family man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's
he ain't got no
DUI. He
ain't no gas. Yeah. He don't. Yeah.
He ain't had to go to court. You know what I'm saying? with no charges.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, man. This is a good dude, right?
Yeah, he ain't got no F in college. He ain't got no F in college. He ain't got nothing.
He didn't even go to college. He could have been a mess in the game, but he was like, nah, man, my family, me, and then I'm gonna be doing stuff on the side. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be good with my money. I'm gonna take care of my body, man. He is like the blueprint I feel like the youth should follow in terms of how to manage being an athlete and whatever else you want to be at a high level and still keep your head on straight. And I feel like Kobe is the Terminator. Like, he out there Jordan cloth was just like, I'm an assassin. My job is to kill you. He John Wick on the court. He like, yo, man, y'all kill my puppy before the game. And then he gonna go in there and make sure the job's not done. So yeah.
Bake, we got a fight coming up next year. It's gonna be in San Francisco. James Harrison in an MMA fight taking on Ocho. Who you got?
Well, you really doing this,
I'm
Ocho?
finna beat the brakes off him, man.
I feel like Ocho been waiting to fight somebody for a long time, man.
He has.
Listen, hey, Tony, I just want to show my skill set, man. I want to show my skills. I want to show all the work I've been doing behind the scenes. Everybody sees me as a jokester. They see the entertainment. They see the laughs and, the hee ha ha ha. But there's another side that nobody gets to see. And I'm waiting to preview that, on whatever night we do have this bout. And I need people of smaller size and stature to understand you don't have to be scared. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And at times, if you stand up to those that you think are intimidating, you will see that.
Yeah. Hey, anybody can get knocked out, man. Anybody can get it.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
What's your record off the court? Out the ring, what's your record?
Right now, in the ring, 1-0. On the street, 5-2.
Okay.
Yeah, I respect that. I lost twice. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I lost twice.
I respect it. Now, let me ask you this: did you lose the first 2 and then come back with the 5 straight, or was the 2 losses in the mix of the 5 in the second?
I lost the first one, and I went on like a winning streak. And then I got caught on the back end. Yeah.
On the back end, so your last street fight was an L. Oh man, you had to go to sleep on that L, looking at the ceiling fan. Like,
it's all good. I'm gonna redeem myself. I'm gonna redeem myself though.
Oh, you gonna take it out on Jay? You gonna take it out on Debo?
Yeah, you can't listen. You can't win them all. I don't care who you are.
Nah, yeah,
that's
if
real.
you fight enough, go get you. Now, eventually they'll get you.
They'll get you.
Hey, they gonna get you. Hey,
Yo,
Ocho,
you know,
that's why I quit while I was ahead. I like 3-0. I'm good.
Oh, you 3-0?
I'm 3-0. Hey, I'm 3-0. Hey, I'm done. I done got too old to fight now.
That's how you tap out. You like,
yeah. I ain't had a fight since I was 25. So, but what I tell people, hey, Bake, this is what I tell people. I say, I don't even know if I can fight anymore. But you probably don't want to find out.
Hell no, man. I ain't trying to fight Shannon. That's a lost way to happen. You be like, but if you do lose to Shannon, you could be like, it was Shannon though.
Hey, that's a good one. That's funny.
Hey, Bake, we appreciate it, man. Best of luck, man. Congratulations on all your success. Hey, anytime I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna catch you at one of these shows. Hopefully, we somewhere in the same area, and I can get out to one of your shows, man. Because I really love what you're doing, man. And so, congratulations. Thanks for joining us, and we're gonna check you out down the road.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you, man. Thanks for the shout outs you was giving a long time ago, too, bro.
Yes, sir.
Hey, your podcast. You want to plug your pod?
Oh, absolutely.
Go ahead.
So I got two podcasts. I got a solo joint called Verbal Cardio. You can catch that wherever you get your podcast, or Tony Baker Comedy on YouTube. And I got my other podcast, the Ball Brothers podcast, that I do with my bro Kev on stage. And we do that together. So we drop those every Tuesday, and that's everywhere you get your podcast from as well. And y'all should have Kev on here, man. He would kill it on here too, man.
We're going to look to do that.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
All right. Appreciate it, bro.
All right, for sure.